and I got a second email. Perfect. Okay, so I only got one email, and now if I, yeah, so now I'll get multiple emails every time that I try to log in, which is not great, but better than we had before. So now I'm curious if I tried to log in with, oh no, okay. They finally decided to like stop me from just using their email thing for free. Hold on, I can. Wonder if they IP blocked me, uh, or if they just set a cookie for this. They just set a cookie for that. Okay, and both of the old email verified still works. Okay, that's great. So that's good to see. Now, if I come back into here, we hit login again. We go to you, and I should still only have 2. Perfect. Okay, so I think I've got this working for as much as I can for right now. So I'm going to mark that as done. Excellent. If my site accepts Stripe, I will be one of the first customers. Yes, it actually does. So I have Stripe set up with the LMS right now. We actually have a course available for purchase. So right now, the one course that I have that you can purchase would be SQLX Rust. So like, for example, a learner right here now wants to come in, like I'm selling this for $5 USD. So if you want to take a look, this is all of the articles that you would get if you were to purchase it. And when we go to purchase this, it sends you to Stripe. I just signed up for and I got a PayPal account. So I might also add in PayPal to that too. I need to look into that. I've heard a lot of not fun things about PayPal from a seller's point of view. From a buyer's point of view, PayPal, however, is really nice. So I totally get that. And I know that somebody said that like Stripe wasn't even available in their region. Like Stripe just refused to load up for them. So that's something I need to look into as well. But okay, so that ticket's done. We're good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and log out. Let's come back into mobile UI is not great. So if I did put in here. Okay, so we course details page. So course details is not the worst one is gonna be the course access articles page. But okay, course details. So if we come here, if I go to Docker, let's say, this is course details page. Great. Okay, looks fine. Let's actually go into Firefox Dev Edition. And I want to convert you. We've been using the smallest. I guess it's not technically the smallest. I'm using the iPhone 12, 13 mini as my sort of like, does this look good? Because I think this is a decent size. Like a lot of the other ones are actually like either around the same size or slightly bigger. And iPad is the equivalent of a desktop anyways, so I think that's gonna work, but like we'll have to we'll have to play around with that. Okay, that's a pro. I want the mini. All right, so this is what this looks like right now. So we have an image, we have our title, we have the cost, we have the description, we have a preview button. Oh yeah, and then this silly thing shows up here, which what do you guys feel about like the footer links? I put the footer links in there because mainly because I'm old school, and in the old days you wanted like the same links in the footer as in the parent, but like I kind of feel with all the social media sites doing infinite scroll and you can't even get to the footer anymore. There is no footer there. I mean, I have this as like part one of the footer, and then I have a bunch of links. Do we care about that? I could also just remove this and we just have the links. To look at you, let's see. First of all, are you local? Yeah, okay, so I'm using local YCL. So if we head back to here, okay, so we have nav footer. Nav footer. Here's, okay, so here we're using Bootstrap behind the scenes. So it's like a wrapper around Bootstrap, so I could change that out later. As long as your footer doesn't say made with love, then I can safely say I haven't looked at them things. Made with love was like back in the days, right? I don't know why, but them made with love from Colorado drives me insane. Should I like figure out, like put something in there with like stacking? If it's your account and you log in, it's gonna like get as close as possible to that, like made in love from Colorado just for stacking. No, that'd be too mean. I'm not gonna do that. Okay, so I think it's just this. It's just this. If I remove collapse and navbar collapse, I think I can get rid of that ID too. So if we just remove that altogether. Okay, so I save you. That rebuilds. You know what I can do? I can resize you to be something closer to that. That'll be fine. Oh, you purchased the SQL Rest course? Thank you so much for that. Just don't make in love with from New Jersey, and we don't know what love means. I mean, yeah, I guess. Do any of you remember? Does NPM still do this? Oh no, I don't think they do it anymore. So at one point in time, NPM used to have a little subtitle of like that turned NPM into what different names, because like they were saying like we're not like a package manager, so it's like, you know, it just like random words for this. I could do that, but it looks like they grew up and became more enterprise, and so removed all the fun. I made you two go for the course. Oh, I'm sorry. Or congratulations. That's awesome. Anyways, if I don't know how. I want to provide value for something like that. I guess. Well, I mean, you can play around with it. We're still like under construction with the LMS to like make it even better. That was our like sort of beta test of like, hey, do the courses work? And so far, I think they are. Limonux, are you in Discord? In my Discord? If you are, I don't have it automated yet, but I do have a channel for the SQLX course, so I could add you to it if you want. All the links at the bottom of the page are footers, right? Are you talking about in general? Like down here, yeah. So here, this is like, for example, NPM's footer, and we have like, here's like links. They have titles for these. These are not links, but these are all links. Everything below these, including these. So it's pretty standard to do something like that. And now I'm curious, if I make you small, yeah, so they don't collapse it, they just make it vertical, which I think is fine. We can do the same thing. And that's what we want to do. Okay, so back to here. I updated the code, which means I need to come back to the LMS here. Recompile, which should pull in the new changes that we did. Okay, why do I still have this here? All right, so it's no longer inside of the collapse, but I still have you. Which, okay, that's fine. This is it, right? Button, navbar, toggler. Yeah, that doesn't show up, that button. So I don't want you there. Okay, so save you. Okay, cool. So you're gone and you just show up here on the left. And now I can like go to courses. I can go to home. Great. Okay, so I think that looks a lot better. So this makes me happy about you. How do you look like on like an iPad? Okay. That looks fine. And if I horizontal mode this, that looks fine. Horizontal mode you look normal and fine too. Okay, so I think this page is done, which means that I can deploy it. Out of curiosity, do I have the right? Okay, we got production stuff going on here. I do need to deploy YCL first. Let's see. I want to. Maybe make you there. That's a good size, I think. All right, so status. All right, so we removed the collapsing footer nav. That's okay. That's not a push. All right, so that pushed up. Here is our commit hash. We come over here. that one in, save view. So that's now going to use the one from GitHub. So this should still work as expected. Yeah, okay. Not surprising. You're built so I can deploy you now. Okay, so AWS sync. Yeah, I'm still too scared to try my CI/CD because it broke for some reason without me doing anything, which means I think a version mismatch. I have a ticket to fix that, but I've just not gone and done that. Oh, okay, awesome. Lemnox, let me get you set up for that. Do my wave and welcome, and I can add the role of SQLX course. There you go. Now, so you should have access to the SQLX course, which I haven't automated that part either, but that I have that thing where it's like it asks in the Stripe page of like, hey, what's your Discord username? And I can use that to say like, hey, let me add that in. Not everybody has Discord. Not everybody even wants to like, you know, talk with anybody else, which like, I don't know, like I prefer the community side of things, right? Like I prefer more community side where it's like, hey, we're all sort of like learning and working together. I think that's like the best way to have any kind of education. All right, so you're good there. Now I did do the upgrade, but that's not there yet. I need, next up is to log into my other profile where I have the script to bust the cache. Nice, excellent. I'm glad you're getting so much value out of that, and being able to create a something that makes $200 in profit every month is awesome. That's great. Keep us up to date. Hopefully you're able to like continue to like provide more value and grow and get even better. Okay, so password. Wait, did I get in here? Who am I? I am in here. Okay, so I want AWS, create the invalidation. Okay, so you're invalidated now, which means that you should now be the brand new CSS that we just did. Now, everything should still look exactly the same here, but when we move to small, everything looks good there, and I actually have a mobile device. And I can test it on here too. Of course, right now, my old Android device is somewhere. I don't know where it is, and it's definitely not powered. So I can't test it on like mobile Chrome, and everything on mobile, I always find it like sort of fun to like tell anybody who's not used to like doing any kind of like mobile dev, that like, oh yeah, you're on iOS. Oh yeah, you just test it with Safari. It's the same engine. Okay, so where am I going? I'm going to learning. And I'm going to courses to go to the course details. Close you up. Yeah, okay. I think this page looks pretty good now. So we can come here. Course details page is done. Your 10-year-old Android? I'd be interested because 10 years old, is that even going to run WebAssembly? Because I do a lot. I sort of do feel decently confident that I can support pretty much the latest versions of browsers. Oh, can. Okay. I don't actually remember when WebAssembly was like actually started to like really get support, because time is just weird now. Ever since the pandemic, like it still feels like 2020 was like 2 years ago. Less than that sometimes. Course access page. Okay, so the course access page. Now, if I go to preview, this is the course access page. We can only get here now because we made updates when we don't own it or we're not logged in. And so as we can see here, this is a mess. This page is not great. So what we want to do is remove the articles on the left and probably make that like a floating bar that like appears when we click a button. Pandemic was the best time for you because you got international job that time because of demand. Oh yeah, it was really good for that. Yeah. It's really sad the way that's sort of reversing right now, and a lot of companies are like doing in the office, and then we're starting to see a big outsource push again into like, okay, we're going to outsource to other countries because they're cheaper. Now I'm talking about like from the United States only. Obviously other countries are, I don't know what like the culture is doing right now for them. Last time we had a big outsourcing push that lasted for 5 years or so before everything came back to the US, because it turns out that trying to like have your main source of income, like the main application you're building, if you outsource that to another country, it doesn't really matter how good the developers are, because there's such a big communication difference, both in time and language sometimes, that can actually really hurt having like a good product and being able to like move quickly. It is good for if you're in a place where you're being outsourced to, now is the time to really like sort of like push to getting a job in the US because now you might be able to do that. And then you can keep that job in 5 years, as if you're able to like keep up a really good communication and deliver super well, then in 5 years or so, when the entire cycle starts over again, it will probably not reset for it. Yes. Okay, it's been another 45 or whatever minutes. So an ad break, and a 1 minute 30 ad break is about to start in less than a minute. I think this time I will take a break because I've been sitting here for a while. I've been drinking my tea. I need to go use the restroom. We need to figure this out because this just makes me sad looking at this. You work for an EU company but follow like Nepal regs, so you get 90 days mandatory holiday. Oh yeah, that's pretty common to when you outsource. I think a lot of companies don't realize this. I've worked with people in Russia, Ukraine, and Mexico, and Brazil, and every time, like I don't think a lot of people really like see that. Oh, you don't see the option to buy the Docker course? Correct. I haven't set that up in Stripe yet because I'm still fixing up all these things, and then once I'm feeling more confident about it, I'm going to add the purchase in, because I don't want people to buy it and they'd be like, this sucks, and then like have like a bad reputation about that. Okay, ads break just started. I'm gonna take a super fast break. Let's put on a large cat. And I will be right back. I did break the golden rule, didn't I? Well, although I think he was kind of awake already. His eyes were open, but he might have been the catnap without the eyes, something like that. All right, let me back to here. Let's see. You'll buy it because you were in chat when I was making it. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is like I know that there's a lot of people in other countries that don't have the ability to buy these courses because they can be expensive, especially as I start increasing the prices for them. And I've been joking about the free tier type thing of like, hey, I built it on stream. That's a free tier, is like actually being here or just like sitting through the hundreds of hours. I don't know if it's actually hundreds of hours. The many hours of VODs to watch them. Or you could just pay to not have to go through any of that and you just have it in a nice format here. And then eventually I want to do sort of like actually like sort of like a live course where we all meet up on Discord, and that one will be the most expensive one because that's like active time. But we're getting there, one thing after the other. Ooh, you will buy. Oh, interesting. I should allow that in here. Okay. Add ability to purchase course, or I guess like as a story, this would be as a learner. I want to purchase a course for another person, another learner. That would be interesting. I know that when CJ did his React course, there was several people who ended up doing that. Basically, yeah, as a gift. Also, Tea Kettle Drone, hello, how are you doing today? Basically, yeah, as a gift, like you can pay for, like, buy it for somebody else. So I'm not exactly sure how that works. I don't know if like Stripe has something for me, or if I'd have to use like a different service to like really do that and like make sure that it works properly. I'm doing pretty well too. It's a happy Monday, I guess. Time is especially weird for me now that I just never leave the house because I am fully 100% remote on everything that I'm doing. All right, well, Zilby is now well situated down on my chair. I'm in standing mode, so that's why you can see like the sort of like this chair. I tilt it so that way he's right next to the heater, so that he's as happy as possible. So that's manager Zilby doing his job. You parsed an XML using Nom, feeling accomplished. Nice. Nom, I've heard of that. I think somebody suggested I use that a while back. How do you like it? Okay, the Nom crate. So it's a crate. For some reason, I thought it was a language. Oh, and stacking. I broke the golden rule by never wait. Yeah. Although he has now learned that when I leave on that break, that it's time for him to get up and he can move to the chair, which I've been sitting on for 2 hours. So he plenty of warmth there. Oh, it's pretty good, inspired by Haskell's monadic parser, which I have also not used. So that might be all good things for me to play around with. I am going to go close the door because I forgot to close it, and that will let all the heat escape in the room. So give me a second. All right, cool. So back to this. First off, I'm going to go back to localhost. And we need to start identifying what we want to do to fix this. Now, the initial idea that we had was I replace this thing over here with a button so I can have that load in separately. And maybe we can have this be like, take the full screen when we load it in. So we'll have to figure that out. Now on the on this page, do I even need an app? If I go like the course articles and I have like a preview here. Yeah, because like we have introduction to Docker and then I show that this is available for preview. I wonder if I could just put a link inside of here. And then we fix this by just not having you. That might work. So first off, that's actually going to be in here. To go to pages, course, access. Now, of course, I'm not really buying much because I'm gonna have to do the fix in like for the navigation in like the other page too. But if I just remove you, which becomes 12. Then this is just what you show up as, which is fine. And this is what it looks like in full screen, which I think is also fine. Let's see, what am I using for my backend and front end? So for front end, we're writing in Vue, which is a front end framework written in Rust. It's modeled after React, so it's pretty similar to that. For the backend, we have a couple different things. For authentication, we're using Auth0, and for my API, I'm using Hasura, which is a GraphQL API that's like, it's a project, open source project, which I'm able to self-host, and it sits like between Postgres and my application, and it also handles authentication for that API for me too. So it's more than just GraphQL type stuff. Which is really nice. And it works, it integrates pretty nicely with Auth0. Oh, you remember me too. Thank you. All right. Bad puns aside, having this be centered on like the monitor would be nice. Yeah, should I have this be centered? I have like course articles showing on the left here, which I think is fine. But in mobile mode, this should just be centered. It's like over here, I think it's okay. Here, it's not okay. So that sounds like a breakpoint to do. What I probably want is a breakpoint in my style. I don't have any breakpoints. Don't have a language server for CSS. Or I guess, or for Sass. Would this just be down at the bottom because I want everything loading up and then it overrides and does this down here? Okay, so I think that might be fine. Okay, so breakpoints. It has been a long time since I've done any kind of breakpoints. Oh, Limonux, redeemed hydrate. Yeah, I will continue drinking. And in fact, I am done with that. Which means breakfast smoothie is next. Okay, breakpoints. I want, I need to remember how to do breakpoints. Can I just figure it out in here? I want a new style, which is, see, I think it's like breakpoint. Is it an at? No, okay, this is not helping. Okay, so I need to, oh wait, is it colon? Like, no. Fine. CSS, you win, I'll look it up. Oh, it's media query, it's not, media query is to set a breakpoint, that's what it is. Ooh, which one should I do? CSS tricks? Probably MDN. They're the like definitive guide to like everything web. Beginner's guide to media query, sure. Oh, it's at media. Media type is gonna be screen. So at media screen. And then media feature rule. Okay, so building this a little bit at a time, we're gonna do at media screen. And then we can set, okay, whatever the size is that we're hitting. So, and our max width is, what's the largest of these? 412. Four 14. 428. Okay, 428. And you're a tablet, you don't count. 428, let's just update that to 430. So max width is 430 pixels. Then inside of here, I just do whatever I want. So if I want like an H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So all of the headers, I then want you to be text align center. Okay, so if I say view, that didn't do anything. No, okay, so hold on. Did I do that wrong? No, okay, wait, it is attempting to line this up. Oh, because I have text align left important. Oh, come on. You recently wrote a small application in 3 frameworks in Python and Golang to see performance. You wanted to create a YouTube video about this, but you're too shy. Any tips? So I guess like tips for something like that is like write the video and try try ender gaming it for yourself, as in go in there and like set everything up to like auto record and do all that stuff, but you're telling yourself this is not production, this is not going to YouTube, this is just me practicing, right? And then just try it again and try it and practice, and eventually like you're knowing you're never going to put it out there, and then eventually just one of the times you're going to put it out there, you're just going to say like this is good enough and throw it out there. Because like the first videos we ever do, they're not going to get very many views, most likely, because discoverability is pretty hard, right? Eventually though, they becomes much more easy to do. So practice, that's really all it is. Opend, hello, how are you doing today? You like random code stuff? Am I welcome? Absolutely, you are definitely welcome. I am pretty big on the idea of tricking ourselves into like being better than we are afraid we are. I don't know if that makes any sense, but there's lots of little mental tricks we can do to basically bring out the best in ourselves, and I am all for every single one of those. Okay, so you don't work because this text starts like this would work perfectly fine, except for the fact that I have a friggin' important on this. Text, okay, so this is from BB Bootstrap. Bootstrap has tons of importance in there, which I'm not happy about. If I put an important on you, that won't work. Wait, did you come afterwards? Why don't you apply the important? Did I do it wrong with the size? Like if I do 435. No, okay, so it definitely is as soon as we hit 4. Wait. Okay, yeah, the media query is gone. And as soon as I hit 430, this shows up. Okay, great. That's good. The H2 then doesn't hit at all because you're hitting. Text start is on the class itself, and so because of that, it's got a higher cascade value or whatever it's called. So therefore, it takes this one and then it takes this one. If you put important on everything, then everything is important. Yeah, that's very true. That is very true in CSS. And then because everything is important, we need. You know what? I can't wait until CSS adds a rule of like double important. Or I can just do like 2 exclamation points. I'm really curious. Can I make this not, can I remove text start and just, see, I can override this. Because like the BB, am I using this at all? I feel like I'm not using you. Correct. I'm not using. Let's see if I comment you out. I want to import. Okay, so in the same place, it's called bb dash. Okay, so it's called that. Okay, so if I do that, we come here. I remove the important. Error. Oh, error from asset pipeline. SAS call to executable caches dev trunk data. Hold on. Do I need to restart trunk when I'm doing a big change like that? No, same problem. I don't have like a map file, but apparently this one maybe has like a map file next to it and it's auto grabbing that. That's not great. All right, so I'll have to figure out how to move this to my own later. Can I override that and in here? So can I have like dot text text start just like that? Oh, no, that didn't work. It's okay. So my override did not, it comes ahead of it, but the important screws it up. Not important. Yeah, exactly. Why not use Tailwind? I initially was thinking about using Tailwind, but the designer that I was working with for this, and me, like, we ended up deciding just like, okay, we're just going to wrap around Bootstrap, and then I'll move to Tailwind later as I need to. Now, I think this is one of those. Okay, so this is one of those cool things that I can now do with my own thing. So here's this text start. Okay, text start there's left. That's fine. The H2, this has text start. Okay. So now eventually what I can do is I can override text start, like override all these things with like a BB dash and it'll be my own. And then eventually I can then move to something like Tailwind for this too. Yeah, so I worked with a designer for this up front. So he gave me a design. I have a bunch of documents for it and everything else. But now I'm just sort of like able to update and do everything with it. Okay, so if I do that, and I want to go into align text, and when I'm doing align text, this becomes a BB dash, like you. We hit save. Okay, You are now a BB tech start. Everything now that's there trying to align left. That's great. Interesting. Why? Okay, so I tried putting this at the bottom of the file so that it would affect last. Why does this not take effect and this does? Shouldn't this like be higher on the whatever it's called? The order? I mean, I could, okay, try to override. I can say like, okay, BB tech start is actually just center. I could also do something like that instead of just trying to say, hey, all the H1s. Let's see. Oh, that's how it works, doesn't it? With CSS, anything. Oh, ad break starting in less than a minute. Heads up. Anything that is directly affecting is using a class is lower in priority than the CSS that affects a direct element, right? That's how it works. So if I come over here and we say, okay, media screen and max width 430, what if we do, okay, so it's all of you, and then also anything with text start. You know what? No, I really am gonna, let's do it all together. It'll be fine. So and also text start goes into here. I think I have text, oh no, BB text start. There we go. Now it's centered. That's how I do it. So now we can see that the media screen, because it's targeting this, is now higher in priority than just the one that goes after there, because it hits both the H2 and the class itself, which is nice. Do you have any local crates? I'm thinking about how to manage local crate dependencies on different machines. Yeah, so I have the LMS that I'm working with, the U component library that I'm working with is in a different crate technically, but I didn't deploy it into crate. So it's really just, I'm using a Git essentially as variables. And so what I can do here is I just go back and forth between these two. So if I want the local YCL, it's just this. This is my cargo.toml value for YCL. But then when I want to use the real one, I use the Git, and then it's always recommended to use a rev because it will cache whatever is deployed out there. And so like, even if you've deployed something new, you may not see it affect inside the code because of reasons. I'm really looking forward to when I'm assuming they're working on it. GitHub releases the ability to have a package manager for crates essentially inside of GitHub, so you can have like a private free crates.io essentially for yourself, just for all of your own projects, which I've used in the past for companies that I worked at, which works out really well. Yeah, and this one, I don't believe it actually matters. Like it, as long as it's a proper Git, and as long as you have permission to get it, that's all that really matters. So if this is a private repo, I want to say that there's a way that you can set that up, but I've never tried that, so I'm not sure. But okay, I think okay, so this works here. So let's commit. Let's see, on the LMS side, we have removed the nav, the side nav. And then for here, we have using own text align. Okay, so 2 commits done. Now we're not finished. Obviously, we're gonna do this. So next up, these articles, this would be nice if they were 100% size. Now, I might be able to just do this inside of my, okay, yeah, so we have card body. If I just add in card body is 100%. No, that's not where I put it. Oh, maybe it's on card, not card body. That's not where to put it either. Interesting. Oh, because I have a max width in here. I need to remove the max width. I need to remove the max width. Okay, so when I do something like that, max width 430 pixels, because that's what was set up in here. Let's see, I can do root. Okay, so custom variables, base font size, mobile phone width. And I want you to be 430 pixels so I can change this and reference this later. So mobile phone width.